Whoa, Facebook! Buen dia, Pedro!
There is a tale on every cat, and a moral on every tale.
On the day I was born in that humble abode, my father would often recall. Like a newborn foal, I gazed on the world, wrapped up in my poor mother's shawl. An only child I would play all alone in the fields where the wildflowers grew, talking with the fairies that lived by the streams, the only life I ever knew. For my mother's best friends were the herbs in the hedgerows. She knew everyone by their name. I learned of their strength and their powers of healing. In my hands there burned a bright flame. When I was a stripling of just 16 years, my poor mother passed away. Malnourished, worn down, she quit this hard life, and the world lost a jewel that day. The snow still lay on the mountains of Mourne when my father went to his grave. By the pitiless typhoid, cruelly cut down like many strong men of his age. No rent could I pay, so I wandered the roads, winter, spring, summer, and fall. I hid from the travellers, shared fires with the travellers, wrapped up in my poor mother's shawl. I worked for a man in a bar in Carheen. I slept in a tumble-down shed. It was here I first cured a boy with the fever, given up by the doctors for dead. Then one summer day, while out for a stroll in the market of Bertineria, I met the bold eye of a man twice my age, and married we were in a year. I'd wandered the roads for 2 long years, winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now a man took me home in a pair of strong arms, wrapped up in my poor mother's shawl.
Now, at this point in time, I think it's fair to mention what became of the only child the Biddy ever bore. The son of old Pat. Paddy was his name. Born and raised in that same house not many years before.
Raised in a home that smelt more like a tavern, and it looked like a sheebeen or a gambler's den. At 12 years of age, the poor lad ran away. He went off to America and was never seen again. The years rolled by and the work kept a-turning and life went on as it always did before, and the people kept coming all looking for the cure, and beating on my well-beaten front door. Each one of them had a bottle or a canister, but sure enough it all went to John's young head. He'd be gesticulating like the leader of the orchestra, dead to the drunk upon the conjugal bed. The gentry, the common folk, the young and the old, the able, the sick and the poor, on dog carts, wagons, on horse and on foot, they all took the path to my front door. They brought me their troubles, the fevers and the warts, they also brought food and liquor. They came in all sizes, all shapes and all sorts, except in the priest and the vicar. Oh, I didn't get my cures from no devil. If you want to know where I got my cures, I'll tell you. There's a field by the house where the wildflowers grow, the fever-few primrose and haws, and in these two hands their most magical powers run, their mysterious course. I mixed them with the moss that grew on the water between the two wheels of a mill that stood at that time in Torballee, and I hear that it's standing there still. But my little green bottle, that was the thing, more famous than I was myself. When I looked in the bottle, the future I saw, and the past and the present as well. In the field by the house where the wildflowers grow, the world grew mysteriously cold. Not even the wool of my poor mother's shawl could drive the fear from my soul. For many were the minds that looked on me darkly. I could see the hate in their eyes, like a darkening cloud gathering over me, longing for pity's demise. In the field by the house where the wildflowers grow, the night was starting to fall, and like the deer on the hillside, I heard the hounds coming, but I could do nothing at all. Did they thick? From Carrick-a-Hold to Karen, every out in his wagon, not a thing you'd expect to find in a place like that. But bear in mind, I'm not trying to fool you, but something mighty peculiar happened down in the county court at 11 o'clock today.
Well, the judge came in with his wig and frock and took his seat beneath the clock and asked the woman in the dock if sorcery was her trade.
Now I'm not trying to fool ya, but I say that's peculiar, and it happened down in the county court at 11 o'clock today. Hush fell over the courtroom, the public needed more room. 100 more were trying to get in, you could hear the drop of a pin. Now I'm not trying to school ya, but I swear that that's peculiar. It happened down in the county court at 11 o'clock today.
Well, the charge she faced was being a witch, a scary line of business which some people in the neighbourhood feared more than losing their maidenhood. The clergy, they despise it, I certainly wouldn't advise it. You'll end up down in the county court at 11 o'clock one day.
The witnesses were called in, the neighbours they were hauled in, all due to testify against your one with the evil eye. Now maybe it was their choice, or maybe they lost their voice, but not a word was said against her in the court today.
Well, the silence fell, the mighty thud, the clock of the court, he cried for blood when the prosecutor said, my lord, I've nothing more to say.
His case was left in tatters, and that was the end of the matter.
So Biddy went free enough when she had 11:05 today.